the Royalty, my name is Harley, and I review all new indie horrors, so you know if you're getting the bang for your buck. Today, I am reviewing Alterity Experience. So the Alterity Experience is a re-release of a game that was originally released in 2020 by Onitron Studio. This re-release was specifically for console, and therefore this experience is about the Xbox release. I was always hesitant to review a game that I haven't completed. I'm also happy to be wrong in most cases, so if you feel that there is specific context or info that I am missing from my experience, share it with me. Now let's get a quick thanks for our sponsors. You guys! Let's say a big thank you to my Tier 2 royalty Izzo and my Tier 1 royalty Hansel Pando, Suki SJ, Stanley, Dan Cohen, Chaos315 and Matt Ben. They allow us to stay sponsor free. Alterity starts as many games do, just a dude in a chair wishing his family a good night as they go off to do unrelated NPC things. However, here's where things get a little different. There is a purple corn kennel in front of you and you better not touch it unless you want to look like you just had an intimate experience with Barney the dinosaur. I'm going to start with a huge positive. The phone app is genius. I just wish it was implemented slightly differently, or in a slightly different game. The frantic beeping, the rush to prevent an intruder is honestly amazing. I think that as part of the concept with handheld control, even when having it taken away later in the game, is a very interesting and fun mechanic. As I was playing this game, I actually suggested that if I had a bigger part in the game as a whole, how excited I would be for that. Unfortunately, despite that glowing praise, it wasn't enough. Whilst the story is actually quite interesting, I love the idea of family secrets crossed with aliens. The way they tell it is lackluster. Most of it can be completely missed if you don't take the time to read the notes, which can be annoying to flick through. I also didn't like the classic father trope of reading your daughter's diary, or the daughter secretly holding a key to her brother's room. I think you all need to learn about boundaries. The gameplay is fairly intuitive, and it wouldn't take long for you to figure out how things work. One complaint I have is there is only one puzzle, and it was boring. If you're going to put puzzles in your game, I think there needs to be some continuity. I was geared up for puzzles that didn't really come after that, and it felt misleading. From what I've been able to gather in my post-game research, most everything is the same as the original release. However, I think I may have found some console-specific bugs that I hadn't seen in other playthroughs. This became apparent almost immediately as the opening cutscene was heavily delayed and I didn't actually get to see it. This for me started things slightly sour. I also, when the game had loaded due to this, was unsure whether the game was supposed to look how it did or if I had a bad copy of the game. Had the opening cutscene played normally, I probably would have accepted the grainy aesthetic of the game up front as opposed to questioning whether it should look better. Although the biggest issues were during the final section where I rage quit. Unfortunately, the game crashed and turned off 3 times during the section, and along with some pretty bad calls from the game, it's the reason I didn't complete it. One thing I wanted to mention is this version only came out in March, so there's plenty of time for it to get fixed up. I definitely would go back for the ending if I knew there wasn't a risk of it crashing. Although I did get very angry in my playthrough, because of what I assume is the final phase of the game. There's no checkpoints, forcing me to redo the entire section again, and this anger was probably amplified by the fact that it force restarted the game 3 times and took my progress with it. The game costs $7.99 in my money and $9.99 in Freedom money, and for the amount of gameplay, I don't think that would be a bad price. If and only if the game didn't kick you out during pivotal points. I don't know if these problems were seen in the Steam version, however from checking gameplay videos and reviews, I haven't seen any mentions of it. So for the Steam version, assuming it's a similar price, yes, it could be worth it. Though I can only speak about indefinite for the console edition, and unfortunately, there were too many issues for a higher score. So I'm going to give this game a 6 out of 10. I don't think it's a bad score, but with the gameplay and performance issues, it's just not something I can go higher with. Although I feel if they had done more with the phone app mechanic, I would have rated this game a lot higher. I think the truth is the game had a lot of potential, and I wish that they planned the Xbox release with the opportunity to upgrade the experience of the game. And my biggest question, which remains unanswered, is, where's my dog? So I guess at the end of the day, it's not a bad game, but it's certainly not the best. There are definitely better on the market, especially at the price point, but I do think there's a lot of potential, and especially from these developers. I think they had a very interesting concept and I'd love to see it incorporated in better games in the future. So I would love for them to hit me up if they do put that mechanic in a different game. I'd love to see it. Anyway, if you liked this video, please do leave a like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and leave me a comment to tell me what you thought. Am I out of line? Am I correct? Let me know. Anyway, I am proud of you for getting through today. I'm even more proud of you for getting through tomorrow. Arrivederci, arrivederci, good as should as, alla luego. Peace! See y'all in the next one.